All right, guys, you're not going to believe what has happened now. Take a look here at this. Well, we got two different stories here for you. First, we'll start with this one. Powder that prompted evacuation at the White House found to be cocaine at the White House. And this is going to be a wild story as they're investigating this now. There's a lot going on about this. Here we are directly from the New York Post. Hunter Biden catches July 4th fireworks with Joe Biden at the White House. Here's some video footage of it. Hours after possible cocaine found on premises. And this is going to be wild here. There's going to be a lot of, you can see Hunter Biden there in this video. This is going to be an absolute PR nightmare for Joe Biden and the Biden family as cocaine found at the White House. I don't know if you heard my wife in the background. She said, if it hasn't been a shit show already. You know, Hunter Biden has been an absolute thorn in the side of Joe Biden. And now, you know, obviously, you know, Hunter Biden has had drug problems. He literally just pled guilty. You can see it right here. Hunter Biden reached his deal to plead guilty in tax and gun cases. The president's son would get about 2 years probation and enter a diversion program. People familiar with the negotiation said if he wasn't a previous drug user, he probably wouldn't have got the gun charges to begin with. And this is just a massive, massive problem for the president here. His son has just been an absolute nightmare for him. Take a listen here to some more information about this. Now, we don't know here that the cocaine is Hunter Biden's. Of course, we don't know that. It's being looked into. The FBI is probably going to be looking into this. But this is what the media is going to run with. This is what we're going to see all over the news, all over mass media here because of Hunter Biden's drug usage. In fact, take a listen here to what is already being said.
Hunter Biden joining the first family on the White House balcony for the 4th of July fireworks show as Secret Service agents investigate suspected cocaine that was found in the West Wing. Mark Meredith, he joins us now from the White House. Mark.
Kaylee, Stephen, Griff, good morning to all three of you. President Biden and his family came back to the White House from Camp David to enjoy the 4th of July festivities last night. It was a picture-perfect night here in the nation's capital. But this morning, there are more questions about who's coming in and out of the White House after cocaine was found in the West Wing. Now, the president nor his staff talked about this last night during the celebration. Cameras spotted the first family, including the First Lady and first son Hunter Biden, there in attendance. But it appears these drugs were discovered on Sunday while the president was away. They were found in a work area of the West Wing. The Secret Service put out a statement on Tuesday, a spokesperson writing, the D.C. Fire Department was called to evaluate and quickly determine the item to be non-hazardous. The item was sent for further evaluation, and an investigation into the cause and manner of how it entered the White House is pending. We'll continue to watch it. This morning, we're also watching more attention being focused on Hunter Biden and the federal investigation tied to him. Tomorrow is the deadline set by the Republican-controlled House Judiciary Committee for the U.S. Attorney in Delaware to answer questions of theirs about how the investigation into Hunter Biden was handled. The questions come after two whistleblowers came forward to claim that the investigation was not handled properly. The U.S. Attorney out in Delaware has denied any wrongdoing. He's also rejected these whistleblowers' claims, saying he had the ultimate authority in this case. But there's still going to be a lot of back and forth between the Justice Department and House Republicans about what was going on behind the scenes. And later this month, guys, Hunter Biden's going to be in court to formally accept that plea agreement, which means he won't be spending any time in jail for those tax fraud charges.
That's right.
Steve, Griffin, Kaylee, back to you guys.
Close enough. You know, sorry, Mark, the folks don't understand. Griff and Kaylee and I understand. For you to be standing on the north lawn of the White House, you had to go through the Northwest Gate, and they've got all sorts of detectors there. And so it is extraordinary that somehow cocaine wound up in the White House, in the West Wing, apparently. And I don't know if you know the answer to this or not, but in the history of the White House, has cocaine ever been discovered before by the Secret Service and made public?
That's a great question, Steve. I don't know of any past incidents of cocaine being found. Obviously, it would be not a huge surprise to imagine that over the years, all sorts of things have come in and out of these gates. But you're right, when it comes to the people that have to go through security, usually it's a metal detector screening, and they'll screen, and Kaylee would know this better, obviously she worked here. I mean, you would go through a screening on the traditional sense. You have to, take out your keys, your cell phone, stuff like that. But then they kind of go through, look for any of those hazardous materials. But in terms of whether or not it's in a bag or ever how it may have been transported, a pill bottle, I don't necessarily know if that would have triggered any alarms. And Kaylee, maybe you can speak to this. I mean, staff doesn't have to go through the same screening that we do as press when we come through the gates. So if you have more regular access, I would imagine you don't have to go through those same screening procedures, right?
Mark, thank you. I will say, as a West Wing staffer, you do go through a metal detector. You put your bag right there through a metal detector as well. They look, they x-ray, they see what's in the bag. It's extraordinary to think that this could have gotten into the West Wing, Steve, into a public place. Apparently, this is a place where tour guides can go through. We don't know exactly where it was in the West Wing, but having been there, worked there, it's a small place. Did a tourist bring it in? If so, that's troubling for national security, for the security of the President of the United States. Was it a staffer? If so, we got to get to the bottom of it. A staffer shouldn't be using cocaine or bringing it into the White House, but troubling nonetheless, a white powder in the West Wing.
Griff?
Yeah, and I'm actually going to be on White House duty for the early shift on Friday, so I'll report back to the show here and let you know if the security measures are increasing. Clearly, something got missed somewhere, and you can bet they're doing a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking, trying to figure out how a breach like this occurred at what should be the most secure building on planet Earth.
Right, but if you look at the internet and you look at social media, there are all sorts of memes and there are all sorts of rumors. Let's see who has access to the White House, who kind of looks like he's living at the White House. Oh yeah, Hunter Biden. There's nothing to see. That's just going on the internet.
Yeah, like I said, this is going to be an absolute PR nightmare for the Bidens, even if they don't know where it's going to come from, which is probably going to be the case. Yeah. Also, take a look here. No deal on the UPS driver strike. Negotiations break down. And it looks like we, at this moment, would be heading for the largest labor strike in U.S. history of hundreds of thousands of workers, which would be a massive, massive problem here for our nations. Yeah, labor talks between UPS and its union drivers and warehouse workers broke down early today, with both sides accusing the other of walking away from the negotiating table. If no deal is reached, a strike could throw the U.S. supply chain into chaos, disrupt the U.S. economy, and push customers toward the rival shipping companies. The workers' contract expires July 31st. No additional negotiations are currently scheduled, the Teamsters Union said, which represents more than 340,000 UPS workers nationwide. They walked away from the bargaining tables after putting forth an unacceptable offer that was rejected by the Teamsters. The union argues that the salaries haven't reflected the large profit UPS enjoyed in recent years. Also, there has been mass complaints about no air conditioning in most of the trucks, especially with the heat wave going on in a lot of the South right now. Temperatures over 100 degrees in a lot of the states, even some of the northern states here, 90 degrees right now here in a lot of the states, 90 plus. Imagine no air conditioning and having to run back and forth between every single house, and yeah, it's absolutely brutal. So I'll keep you up to date here with everything happening here in our country and around the world. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos here. Also, thanks for hitting the like button and sharing these videos. Click here to see what they are hiding from you that you probably don't know. And the White House just sent out an urgent warning here in this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.